Welcome back to the Suburban Chateau. I'm Stephanie Everett, and we have a new series on the Suburban Chateau this summer, and I'm going to be taking you along with me on my husband's and I Rhine River Adventure that we just took this June, and we wanted to share it with you because it was such a fantastic trip, and I want to really encourage you to go see these beautiful places that exist in our world. Day 2, we're going to see the beautiful town of Lucerne. And Lucerne is an amazing town with a lake, Lake Lucerne. But we drove there and immediately there are just Alps surrounding us. That was one of the things that was so exciting to me in the first 2 days of this journey. We just drove up and saw Alps everywhere, Alps all around the lake. And I couldn't believe it. It was like a backdrop. It didn't even look real. There was these big mountains with snow, and it looked like something out of Sound of Music. It was just incredible. I never could have envisioned anything like this in my life. It looked like a backdrop I'd rent for a play. It didn't look real, but it was real. And Lucerne, again, a beautiful old town. And one of the exciting things I'm going to be sharing with you is a bridge that they have there that is, I believe, from the 13th century, but just an incredible little city and wonderful food and atmosphere. And we got to go on a boat on the lake and just lots of great memories in Lucerne. So we're facing the old town in the historic Lucerne, the 6th largest city in Switzerland, but we're just surrounded by the Alps. And in the distance you can just see the snow-covered tops of the faraway mountains. One of the most striking geographical features, in addition to the lake and of course the Alpen mountain range, is Mount Pilatus, the highest peak that overlooks Lucerne and Lake Lucerne. And apparently it's reachable by cable car and another kind of railway system, but we could see it just in the distance. And it is quite an amazing mountain. And some say that the name Mount Pilatus could either have originated from Pontius Pilate, believe it or not, or also it could be something from the cloud cover, because it's often the peak is covered in clouds. They do say that in this Alpine region, there are 77 visible mountain peaks, and one of them, and the most prominent, is Mount Pilatus. Well, it was time to head back to the town of Luzerne from our lake adventure. And we really got a chance to see all the buildings that are in the town of Luzerne and quite a few chateaux or castles that were built up on the tops of the ridges of the mountains. And some of them, we just couldn't believe how beautiful. And if you see in some of them, a lot of them are solar powered, which I thought was very interesting. But all of these buildings, just incredible architecture. And this is really the seat of tourism in Switzerland, and all kinds of boating and these tour boats. There were tons of tour boats there. But then we had a moment to go into the actual town of Lucerne and explore a bit. And I can't wait to take you with me on that exploration. highlights of our tour of the old town of Lucerne was seeing the Chapel Bridge, a covered wooden footbridge that spans across the River Royce in the city of Lucerne. And it's very unique because it is a diagonal cross bridge. So it's not a straight across bridge, but it goes in a diagonal fashion. And it is really unique because it is a wooden footbridge. It is a truss style bridge, and it's the oldest surviving truss style bridge in Europe, made out of wood. And it dates back to the 1300s, some of the parts of the bridge. And the artwork that we were lucky to see in the trusses of the bridge was started in the 1700s. And many of the artists depicted scenes of Lucerne's history and then featured them in these many, many beautiful art pieces going through the bridge. Now, unfortunately, there was a terrible fire in the summer of 1993, and almost 2/3 of the artwork was destroyed. And it was a big loss for the Chapel Bridge, but they opened it back up in 1994, the following year, rebuilt the section that burned down. And you can even see on the bridge, as we got to the end, you could see where the charred pieces of the fire had still been. There's some charring of the wood. And it was just such a unique bridge. And to see that artwork, it was really a highlight of the old town, Lucerne. After we saw the Chapel Bridge, we walked into the Old Town section, saw some farmers markets, saw some amazing artwork, and we got to go into the market section of the shopping district. And one of the things that struck me is there was a whole avenue filled with only the Swiss watches. And you could have picked out any watch you wanted. They were just shop after shop after shop of the watch companies that were there. But we just saw such incredible architecture, incredible artistry, and of course the Alps. It was just an amazing day. Thank you so much for joining me on my second day of this incredible journey up the Rhine River and visiting the beautiful town of Lucerne and seeing the incredible architecture, getting to eat some of the wonderful foods there, and just the incredible history and, of course, the backdrop of the Alps. Nothing can compare. So thank you so much, and I hope you join us as we continue up the Rhine on our next episode.